Welcome to the last Worst of the Riot 2019 podcast.
This is it. Monday, we return back to normal. We'll have a new Worst of Riot, a new show for you, and a new podcast.
So here's what we're talking today. Eight out of 10 people cry at work.
So what months are, is this December
this
or
is
still November?
This will take us through mid-October.
Okay.
And I felt like November, December were so recent.
No need to.
There's no point in throwing that stuff in. So let's see. In the middle of August, we talk about crying at work. I go to the Apple store and it doesn't go well.
Aww.
Actually, wait.
Was that
remember I got a new Mac this year.
Oh, yeah, and they wouldn't sell you one.
They were like, yeah, just get out.
The place where they'll sell you like anything. They're like, no, sir. They didn't want to sell him anything.
Obadiah watches Towering Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
I went through like August was disaster movie month for me. I watched so many disaster movies and had a blast. Let's see. The girl's mom shoots her when she visits.
That's
lady. That's a great story.
Aww. Well, I mean,
it's a great story.
Tragic.
I didn't say it was a good thing that happened.
It's not good then, but tragic, but a good retelling.
Okay. Obadiah cracks the toilet seat. Obadiah and Nikki join the same gym.
Which is why after you cracked the toilet seat.
Yeah. So, there's a progression there.
It is one to the other.
Let's see. Antonio Brown and can Obadiah live with Nikki?
Was that when he was so
yes.
Stop talking, you're ruining your career?
Yep.
That guy? Okay.
Yep. RadioU scarves. Oh.
Yes. You got to say it.
RadioU scarves and wide feet.
Oh. You put that in there?
Yeah.
Did you put that in there?
I did.
All right. Well... And that's what we're ending, the 2019.
Obadiah plays the KFC dating game.
That.
And don't bring pork to Australia.
So there's more?
There's
all right.
plenty.
There's plenty in this final Worst of Riot, a look back at 2019 for our show. And thank you to everybody. Hopefully you've been a listener through the year and you had a good year with us.
Yeah. So great to spend time with you. And we look forward to being back on Monday.
New year. New year. New year.
Same me.
Well, yeah, we're still doing the same stuff, guys.
Yeah.
It's like, get ready, because Monday, we're right back at it again.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Including with the yawning as well. Have a good day and a good weekend.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
This is not funny.
Well, then don't laugh when you start talking about it. You're
It
not
is.
starting off the story the right way.
It's not funny, but I've been laughing about it for at least 12 hours, if not a little bit longer than that, okay? So Monster.com, which, what do they do? I think...
Is that job stuff?
It is. I don't know what exactly job stuff they do, but they do something. But they did a survey. Now, granted, this is just of people that probably are at Monster.com, so they're looking for new jobs.
Yes, I believe you go there to post your resumes and stuff.
So let's just know in advance that people at Monster.com probably aren't very happy with their job. But that being said, I feel like this is still a high number. 8 out of 10 people say they've cried at work. And most of them say the reason they cried at work was their boss.
Really? Aww. Why are you laughing at that? That's sad. That would be sad if you're in that position.
It is sad.
It is.
That's what, okay.
And when things are sad, Obie laughs.
Listen, what are you going to do? You've already cried about it. Might as well have a laugh. Might as well chuckle a little bit, because how freaking sad is it that our modern state is, I go to work and I cry.
Well, there's nothing wrong with crying.
I didn't say there was.
That's an emotion, and sometimes things get a little hard at work. There's nothing wrong with crying at work.
Nope. Hey, man, I've cried at work. I've sat in the parking lot, had emotional breakdowns right here.
That is healthy. That's actually what you're supposed to do.
Just let it go.
You don't want to bottle it up and just keep it all in there. A little crying is not bad. But I think it's also depending on your workplace environment, on if you're crying, if you're upset about how you're being treated, is there any changes that happen from that, or are they just going to ignore the fact that you're so upset?
14% say they cry once a week, with a few more saying they cry every day.
Oh, well, not today, because today's Friday, right? Today's the best day out of the week.
Oh, there was the 8 and 10 say they have cried. So it was 45%. So that's right around 5 in 10 say they've shed tears at the office because of bosses or colleagues. They blame their workloads, personal issues.
Really? Crying at work because of a coworker? No.
I've done it.
I know. Everybody has.
Everybody has.
Everybody's cried at work.
8 and 10 people have.
Well, I don't know where the other 2 are.
They're the ones that are bullying.
They're the ones that are causing the problems.
It's real.
Aww.
Yesterday we were... Yesterday, we were at the mall, and Nikki left.
We were there for work. We were there for work. Don't just say that out there.
Nikki left the table, and so I threw my stuff away, and then I started going, Nikki! Hey, Nikki! And then
You followed me.
No,
that was so embarrassing.
I ran after her, but I made sure that when I was running, it was like...
So hard.
I was making these really
very
loud
hard. But do you know what, though? I'm so used to that I didn't cry. It didn't upset me that way.
Yeah, she was just like, I hate it here.
And hopefully you'll grow into that, guys. If you're crying at work, you'll grow into, you're so used to it that you don't cry anymore. You're still upset deep down, but you can handle it.
You'll grow these enormous calluses.
Yes.
Because you've been hurt so badly by the man with the floppy feet.
I can see you running out of the corner of my eye. Just like, stop. Just stop doing that. Just stop it.
She's trying to act like, she's like, I don't hear it.
I don't hear it. I
anything.
don't see him. I don't even know who this person is.
Which only encourages me to get louder.
I know
and
it does.
Guys,
I hate that too.
You know what? I can get so loud.
Yes, you can.
Especially in public.
Well, if you're upset at work, here's a hug through the radio because we're sorry. But It's okay to cry, and you're not the only one. 7 other people at work are crying too.
I'm going to go cry now.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on Radio U.
So yesterday we did it. You guys have heard me whining about my Mac, and it's a good boy, Floyd.
Obi has a MacBook Air, and he's had it for a long time. It's put in its years. It's ready to retire.
And it's
to someone who won't use it as much.
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
So I went yesterday to the Apple Store to buy a new Mac. And I thought that the Apple Store was going to be different.
Yeah.
I thought that it was going to be a place that I would go that, like, hey... Just the fact that I'm walking into the store means I'm probably willing to pay far too much money for your overpriced items.
So come over and talk to me, right?
I'm sure I'm purchasing respect, right? Wrong.
So the guy wasn't nice?
I go
or
in
just
there.
A little moody?
There's a guy at the front, and he's like, hey, how can I help you today? I was like, well, I'm here to buy a MacBook Air. And he's like, oh, well, just over there at that table. And what's your name? I give them Wayne. Wayne is my middle name. But listen, if you had a name like Obadiah, after a while, you just get tired of using it.
You don't want that being shouted. You don't want that starting off.
I don't care. I'll get on the table and start dancing. I don't care about the attention. I just get tired of they can't spell it. They don't know what's going on. They come over and always mispronounce it. And I'm just like, Wayne, like Bruce Wayne, Batman.
No problem with that.
There you go. So I go over there, and I'm standing there, and there's a girl there. Looks like I'll tell you what it looked like. It looks like she was going into college, and her grandma was there to buy her a Mac.
Okay.
So this guy walks over, and he's like, hey, can I help you? And I was like, well, they were here first, and I can wait. Now, what does that tell you about me?
Nice guy.
I'm such a
nice
person.
Guy.
I'm such a good person. I would not dare get in line before these people who were here first, so take your time. And
even though normally they're supposed to, their thing keeps track of people who check in, and then they just go one to the next.
And so they were like, no, go ahead. And he's like, well, what do you want?
Ooh. What? Hold on, everybody.
Wait. Not what can I do for you? What do you want?
Maybe he wanted to help her more than you.
Now, in fairness, I can't acknowledge that she was not ugly. She's young. She's fun. She's flirty. She's there for a Mac.
Yeah, you were there for a Mac too.
I was there, hadn't shaved, just got done eating.
Didn't bring your grandma.
German street food for lunch. I get it. I'll tell you what, if I was a guy, I wouldn't want to talk to me either. But I was still there, and I'm a person. And so the guy's like, I said, hey, I would like to buy this Mac. I want the whatever, but I also want to get more RAM. And I'm not even kidding. He was like, you have to order that online. You can't order that here. That's custom. And then that was it.
And he just, he
not
saw
like-
his out, so then he could go to the next person.
It wasn't like, do you need some help placing the order? You can place the order while you're in the store. Have you been to apple.com? Nothing helpful or anything at all. It was just like, I don't care about you. Hey, baby, how you doing?
That's so rude.
You need a Mac today? And I thought, okay, you guys know I come in here and whine a whole lot. And sometimes you don't even listen to the show because too much whining. And I'm sorry. And so I actually thought to myself, I was, you know what? You're imagining this. You are crafting a narrative as you're standing here. And in that narrative, you're the victim. You're always the victim. Poor little Wayne. They can't even say your first name. Poor little guy.
But
I was not alone.
And that's the key right there.
We stepped outside and Michael said to me, that guy was awfully dismissive of you. And I was just like, yes, thank you. It is not my imagination. That guy treated me subhuman. Like I wasn't even there.
Why you say something?
Yeah, that's the
that's what
answer.
we don't do.
Like, hey.
Well, we say something, we just say something the day later here.
I just don't get it. What, Nikki? Why am I so objectionable as a person that when I go into a retail establishment, they just flat off.
Just always do that.
They just like, no,
now,
not
Peter,
this guy. I hate this guy.
Peter's text message is a good point. They on commission, and so they're going to put money right then and there, and yours is a quote-unquote special order that has to be done online, so he's not going to get any commission for that.
Do they work on commission there?
Probably. So
at
then
the
maybe
Apple Store?
Maybe then he just was ready to move on to something he could get money from.
Oh, man, I don't know if I'm buying it. Maybe. I don't know. But I'll, yep. It's just like, you know what I thought about? It's just like that time, like so many times, but like Nikki and I are in Seattle getting coffee. They hated me. It's like the time I went down to the vegan bakery. They hated me. I go into the Apple store. This guy blatantly hates me. And you know what? I was just like, they didn't treat me like this at the Microsoft store. They got me a Diet Dr. Pepper.
They brought me a beverage from the back. Do you see?
I don't do you guys think I'm exaggerating?
Oh,
I'm not.
No.
I'm really not exaggerating.
I've seen it so many times, and it's so unfair because you're so nice.
I don't understand.
I don't know
What
either.
am I doing wrong?
You're not doing anything wrong.
Something.
It's them. It can be them.
How many thems are there?
There's
what
a
am
lot.
I doing wrong?
Listen, there's a lot of thems in this world. More people act like thems than they do you.
I don't know. It's fine. I'm trying. I'm actively trying.
So Catherine texted, interaction with an employee can really throw off how your purchasing or decision-making can go. I've had that affect me a lot.
Okay, I like the most important message of them all probably just came in right here. Wait, it's a pop-up. Hang on. Click over.
I can talk at
Annie
Annie's.
says, you have RBF.
Not that one, but a different one.
Resting brat face.
Radio friendly, yeah. So resting brat face.
Okay, Annie. Like, do you think maybe I really do? Maybe I do. Like,
I don't think you do.
Like, maybe I stand there and look grumpy.
You don't. You always smile. You're always nice. You're always polite. Most of the time.
I know it seems bad now, but I'm sure one day we'll be able to look back at this and laugh. Who are we kidding? No one will ever laugh at this. This is the Riot's Worst of 2019.
So gather around as we hear the tale, and maybe you can help Obi if you've successfully done this before.
So I wanted to break up with, I'll just say it, LA Fitness.
Is it hard?
They're a chain all across the United States. And, So their options to me, it's like, okay, there's two options here. You can write a letter.
That's the most common one. Believe it or not, for most gyms, you need to write them and drop off or mail in a letter.
That is insane.
It's like an apology letter.
That is insane.
That's common.
So I had to write a letter. I've actually come to think of it, that's kind of it. Or I can come in, I think, for like a special consultation.
With a person?
I guess.
As they try to talk you out of it?
So I go and I was like, all right, I'll just write this letter. But the new hotness is you can't just write a letter. You have to have a cancellation form. And so in order to get a cancellation form, you have to register for an online account.
Oh, my gosh. Why?
So I had to go through, register for my online account, and good for them. Now they have my spam email address.
They won.
Yeah, good for you. Just spam away, as I know you will. And then I was able to get in, print the cancellation letter. So as I'm printing, they go and they're like, why are you canceling? And what did I choose? Like relocating.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, whatever. So they have a video that pops up, and I decided to go through it. There's a different video for every reason that you're going to cancel.
Oh, no. To try to talk you out of it? Mm-hmm.
Then, let's say you opt not to watch the video, and you go to the next screen. It asked me again via a drop-down menu why I was canceling. And then in text form, it gave me why I shouldn't cancel. And so they have highlighted in yellow, like, never mind, or whatever, or in gray, making it look like this couldn't possibly be the right answer. Continue.
Yeah.
And so I finally continued, and then they take me to this form that I have to print. I have to print it, and then they show me the last day I'll have access to the gym.
Yeah.
Because, like I don't think I did this. They were like, you actually paid in advance for your last month and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, I didn't pay anything. I had no fees or whatever when I signed up for this thing.
Well, they just give you till the end point.
Whatever. So
do you have to drop that off or mail it in?
Yeah, I'm going over today. Like I said, with my lawyer, I'm going to take it over. One of the things they say is if you drop it off, make sure you get a receipt to show that you've dropped it off. And I'm like, oh, great. So that means they're going to send their retention specialist over have a little chit chat with me.
How much time are you banking for this? Like, how long do you think it's actually going to take to drop off the letter?
I don't know. An hour. Like I said, I got my lawyer on retainer. I told him an hour
to go in.
So,
well, this is just a reminder for companies, because anytime you want to cancel something, it's not pleasant for most places. But if they made it nicer, people would be more willing to go back. This should not be the final, the final experience you have with a company that kind of sours you on it.
They should make it as easy to cancel as it is to sign up.
Yes.
That's the way it should work. So like with AMC Stubbs A-List, I had to have an online chat with a special representative.
And you can't go back for 6 months.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Like my cable company offered me, they're like, yeah, you get all this stuff. And it was like, no fees, cancel online, blah, blah, blah. So I signed up for it. The first thing they did, they were like, okay, we said 19. It's actually 29. Then, by the time I'm done, it was $50. And I was like, okay, I'm canceling. And it was like, well, you can't, no, hang on. So 3 hours later, you cancel.
You finally get it done. Zach texted, he said, so true about how hard it is to cancel memberships. He had to go to his gym 4 times to cancel, as only one person could cancel his membership. He had to get on this person's calendar, camp out at the gym, and wait for them to show up, and then get what they needed when they arrived.
Hey, you know what? In the middle of all this, here's Nathan shining a beacon of light. He says, I broke up with LA Fitness and didn't really have any problems. I just told someone at the gym after a workout that I have to cancel. They tried to lower the price, then scare me, saying the price will go up if I ever try to come back. Then it was done.
So there you go. Why don't you just go do that?
That is what I'm going to do.
Well, it doesn't seem like. Nathan, did you have to bring the letter in?
I don't think he did, but I do.
Okay, Obi has to.
They've changed the policy. I have to have a letter. It's got a barcode on it.
Sorry, you have to go through that to cancel.
It's ridiculous.
Makes it, you never want to sign up, or you just never cancel and you just keep paying.
That's what they're hoping for.
I know that is.
I'll tell you what, I'm pushing through.
You will cancel.
Today's my day.
Get on in there.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I can confirm that the bagel setting is a waste of time.
Is it? Is it done, though, or is it still in there?
I'm not even convinced it even toasted this bagel at all.
It needs more time. That's it. Don't pressure it.
I saw the button light up. I watched it go down. I don't know. Technically, I guess.
Is this one of the frozen bagels, or did you bring one in?
No, I brought one in.
So it's not like it was even frozen ahead of time. It should have been plenty of time.
Should have been. You know what? It should have been. The bagel's like us. It's a slow start to a Monday morning. No, not the toaster, I mean. The toaster's like, I've been sleeping all weekend. You expect me to wake up now?
No, the bagel's it needs more time.
Yeah, maybe. So, hey, did you watch any movies this weekend?
I got some TV, but nothing worth mentioning.
Any good TV? Oh.
No, nothing really.
Okay. I watched The Towering Inferno, 1974.
Ooh, a classic movie.
fantastic. So fun. I laughed so hard.
Is it supposed to be funny?
Oh, no.
It's supposed to be tragic, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Is it because it's old you could laugh at it?
Oh, my gosh. I actually wanted you to be there because I was like, Nikki could have really appreciated this. So, like, this building is burning.
Wait, was it a tragic movie then, or was it a...
Well, it's kind of like, yes, but it's more like an adventure story. Like, people are dying, but it's like, man, we're getting out of this burning building, and they're doing all these crazy stunts. Like, I think Twister or what was the San Andreas, like something like that, where there's a disaster going on. There's triumph of the human spirit.
Sure.
But then there's also, like, there's tragedy, but there's triumph.
Gotcha. And they really want you to focus on the triumph.
Yeah. So in the middle of all this, they, like, rig up the outside elevator so 12 people can get down because the building's on fire. It's the tallest building in the world. And they're stuck on the top floor for a party.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Titanic. They're like, the building can't burn down. The building's burning down. So they're trying to figure out what to do and all this stuff.
I can just envision you laughing at it. You're like, it's not funny.
No, there are so many times where they would say a line of dialogue where you're just like, oh, my God.
So kind of cheesy.
But the best part, these 12 people are trying to make their way down this elevator. And there's an explosion. We don't know why, but there is. And it, like, knocks the elevator off its hinges. And there's 12 people, and I can't remember why, but the glass elevator, one of the panes falls out. This woman's holding a baby, and she, like, or it's like a kid or something. She, like, hands the kid over and then falls out of the thing. And I burst out laughing,
what?
But it's even better. They cut to this wide shot, and you see she's wearing a white dress. You see this white doll fall out of this model, and then it she like hits the side of the building and like spins.
It's not funny though.
It's not
funny.
It's not supposed to be funny. And I am roaring with laughter. I could not stop laughing.
So it was the Towering Inferno?
Like, it wasn't enough for her to fall out. She had to hit the side of the building. And dude, you can hear people in a room that are like, oh, that's it. That makes it feel real. Where she hits the side like that, that's what would really happen.
You could tell it was a doll.
Yeah.
It was a model.
I guess. I don't know. I watched it a couple of times and I was just enjoying the one. Like, hey, it's falling. Okay, hand the kid off, stunt double, jump off the set, cut to wide shot, doll is falling.
And cut. There's the movie.
I had a blast with it.
Oh, I want to go back and ask people who were in the movie who were thinking they were making this action tragic thing. Be like, hey, do you want to know how it seems when you fast forward to now?
But even that, like, it still works. It still plays. It's still tense.
Sounds like it.
It's still funny. I think the characters are great. I mean, it plays very differently now because it's kind of a different style of movie. But you can see where, like, they were just sowing the seeds of like a lot of the movies that we watch now. I had a blast with
That's been Obadiah's
so much fun.
Maybe 60-year review of the Towering Inferno.
1974, so it's 45 years old.
45 years old.
Yeah, I'm done with those. I had two old movies I wanted to watch, and I'm done with them now.
Okay, you're kind of over
Poseidon Adventure was last weekend, and Towering Inferno was this weekend.
Well,
it was awesome.
Glad you had a chance to watch that.
You should watch it, Nikki.
And Aaron, I hope that answered your question, your text message when you said morning. Catch any sick flicks over the weekend? That's what he watched.
I'm telling you right now. I'm ready to watch it again right now.
Maybe the Riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the Riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki, did you ever go home and surprise your parents from college?
No. When I was in college, I was only in for a year and a half, and I lived at home.
She was in. Do you hear that? It was like prison. I was only in for that long.
It was fine.
I got an early parole. I'm out now.
Oh, then I got put in here, so.
Yeah. It's part of her early release agreement.
Yeah, it was a program. I got traded into here.
So did you catch the story about the mom in Ohio? You know what? Who doesn't love the great state of Ohio?
What did the
Nikki?
mom do?
Well, you know what? Her daughter was coming home for a little visit. A surprise! Her mom lives alone. So when she kicked open the bedroom door to surprise her mom went Dirty Harry. Her mom went John Wick. She has, get a load of this, her mom has a loaded revolver on her bedside table. She just
Ready
grabbed
at any
it.
time?
Apparently.
I thought you're supposed to keep it in a safe or something.
Well, if you live alone,
Yeah, I guess.
whatever.
So she thought her daughter was an intruder?
Yep. So
Did she actually shoot her or shoot at her?
No, she shot her. Right in the arm.
Aw, well, now you're getting more presents at Christmas.
They shattered her elbow.
Aw.
So she had to, actually, this girl had to have surgery like me.
Yeah.
In fact, if you look at her wounds, this is exactly the kind of surgery that I have. It's the same kind of cut and everything.
Obi was not shot, though, when he was younger.
No. I broke my arm skateboarding, which is why I don't skateboard to this day. So they had to put in, 8 pins in her arm. That had to be...
So painful.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. 8 screws and plates. I said pens. That's not right. So.
Would it be ironic then you got to go to your mom's as you recover? It's like you got to go to the place where she did that at.
Man.
Does the mom get in trouble or is it, it's an accident, but still.
I don't know.
Do police get involved or do you just have this thing over your mom for the rest of her life?
Hey, what do you do with that? Because, it's not like you didn't
Your mom
hit...
wasn't intentionally trying to hit you with it.
You didn't hit her. It wasn't mean words. You shot her.
You shot your daughter.
You shot her
who
in
was
the
trying to be
arm.
nice by surprising you coming home.
Yeah. Wow. Cops recovered the revolver. It had 4 live rounds and 1 spent round. But I guess good for her. She was aiming for her center body, which is what you're supposed to do. Hit her in the arm. Her mom had a concealed weapons permit, and when the police arrived, was visibly distraught.
Now, I don't know if I have this right, but lately in movies, I keep seeing, and they do this a lot in Korean movies, where the first one's a blank and then the rest are
real.
Can you do that with guns where your first one is just a scare shot and you're not actually, does that work?
Wow.
Like it's a blank?
Wow. So, okay, here's how the story goes. This is some more details. She screams. After she gets shot, she kneels down and screams very loud twice.
Well, yeah.
Her boyfriend comes rushing in and just calls 911. Is like, hey, and let me give you a direct quote here. I don't have the call, but the call was, my girlfriend just came from college and her mom didn't know, honestly, and she accidentally shot her and we don't know what to do.
Yeah. Oh, well, at least she is alive.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, and she'll recover.
Even though it's an accident, the police say that they have to actually go to, this will go to the prosecutor. They have to look at it just like it's any other case. So they had to,
just
take evidence and, all that kind of stuff.
That's a good call. Andrea was just saying, was it the daughter's fault because she knew her mom had a gun, but, did the daughter actually know her mom carries a gun or leaves it there?
I don't know. Maybe she didn't know. I have no idea, where we go from here. I do know this, though, she's knocking from now on.
Oh, yeah. No, she's...
It's all knocking.
The mom's going to have to move. I feel like that has a lot of bad energy in the house now. You're going to have to...
Come on, Condo.
You're going to have to just, no sparking any joy in that whole house. You're going to have to just change it up.
I never scared my mom.
A lot of bad memories.
I never scared my mom like that, but my mom would... she might have her door shut or whatever to her bedroom. So what I would do is I had this cardboard cutout of Han Solo, and sometimes I would put it right in front of her door. But I wouldn't knock.
Scared.
I wouldn't knock or anything. I'd go off, and then an hour later, I'd hear, "Ah!"
She'd notice it. See, that's funny. That's safe and funny.
Well, if she's going to shoot somebody, it would just be that cardboard guy.
It wouldn't be a bad thing. Well, what do we learn from this? If you're going home, better to be safe, ruin the surprise early, and just make sure no one has any loaded guns. You
know what? I think the real lesson here is just to knock.
That's a good... Well, yeah, if your mom, though, is so...
Well, if you knocked, though, at least you'd say, who is it? She wouldn't... If there was a knock at the door, she's not going to shoot the door, I don't think.
You think?
But, it is her bedroom door, and she is home alone.
I don't know. Knock at the front door. Don't go in.
Don't go in.
The only reason we're airing this is because most of our staff is on holiday break and we need to fill time somehow. This is the Riot's worst of 2019.
Something happened to me today that...
Today already?
Yeah, I know.
It's been a busy day.
I know. It's pretty early in the morning to be experiencing things.
Well, you're a busy guy.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, I got up this morning, I want to put this out there first. I got up this morning and I went for a run. And then when I came back from my run, I was like, I'm going to hop on the scale here, see if I've...
Oh, so you want to weigh yourself after the run?
Yeah, sure. So I did that and picked up a couple pounds, which...
Of weights next to it? Is that what?
I don't know what I'm doing. Whatever. And this is the part where it gets a little frustrating. And then I was like, before I hop in the shower, I just need, a minute. So I needed to sit down on the and use the...
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as I was sitting on the toilet, there was a very loud sound.
Uh-huh.
And it was the sound.
Oh, no, don't say it's the toilet. No.
Well, what do you think it was?
Did you break the toilet seat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. What a bad day.
Sitting.
You're not big at all.
Sitting on the toilet seat, I just hear, thunk.
It's like that is really a tough start to the day.
And the toilet seat has cracked in half.
Well, I mean, it's been...
I will tell you, for what it's worth, I put a new toilet seat on, I think like a year ago or something.
Is that
another
the one?
There was a plastic one, and I can't remember why. I don't know. Like I don't remember why. But a new toilet seat, and I'd never bought any wooden toilet seat before, and so I was like, oh, that's interesting. So that's what I bought, and well.
So is that the one that broke?
Oh yeah.
So it was about a year old.
Yeah.
Wooden toilet seat.
It was like $40.
Well, you need plastic.
This is the sad part. Like, it was a nice one, quote unquote.
It's supposed to last long.
It was supposed to be like I would pass this on to my great grandchildren.
Here's Grandpappy's toilet seat.
This great toilet seat has served our family for generations. I remember when I installed it.
The family's like, they don't make toilet seats like they used to, like Grandpappy's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! So you got to get a new toilet seat.
Yeah, because Fatty was sitting on the toilet this morning.
It must be something else. Things are not made like they used to be.
Must it?
Nope, it was compromised other way.
The bottom line is
broke.
Somebody's bottom was too much for the seat. And the seat did, in fact, crack in half.
I want to just say that, every day we try to wake up with a good, positive mindset, right?
Yeah, come on.
Like we're going to seize the day. We're going to make some great choices. We're going to love ourselves.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it seems like even so early into the day, you get a lot of factors fighting that.
Yeah.
Of keeping it positive.
I mean, it's almost like every morning
I have against you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to fight through all that.
So I managed the thing. It kills me that it's like, I managed to go running, and then I came home from my run and cracked the toilet seat.
Yes.
And it was just like, you know what?
Of course so.
Just give me the donuts. Forget it.
Why bother?
Just forget it.
Oh, well, you get to get a new one today. That's exciting.
I know. You know what I'm really looking for? I'll tell you what I'm buying. The cheapest freaking thing they have.
That'll last forever.
I know. Just like, what do you have? I'll take that. How cheap is it? No, I don't. I want to pay 50% off of that.
No, you need to go onto Amazon and find like the $9.99 toilet
Amazon
seat.
Choice.
And just...
Amazon Basics toilet seat?
Yes.
You're probably right.
I bet they have one.
They probably do.
Then that one will never break.
Jeez. What a day. Well,
let's change our tone. What a day. Yeah.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Did you go to the gym today?
No. Just like to turn my alarm off.
So you like to set it just so you can turn it off?
I do. It's like, I get to sleep in.
Man, my college roommate was like that. He and I had to have a moment where I was just like, okay, look.
You got to pick one alarm and get up to the one alarm.
I can even handle 2 alarms, but he had like
as long as it's
6.
the same time.
And it was like, I'm sorry that you have an early class this semester. I'm sorry, but I don't. and I'm up
Yeah.
for your early class.
Well, I have 2 puppies and they get up. And so our father was like, well, if I turn off the first alarm, which doesn't mean anything, I don't actually get up to it, then I'll stop getting them up with the alarm too. So now I just go ahead and get up with the second alarm.
So what I was going to tell you is that you and I think, are about to be gym buddies.
Why?
Because I'm
you're
about
going
to
to join?
Yeah.
That's good. Now I got to go then.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that
Is
there's
that
some
too much?
real potential awkwardness there.
Why? You go to the one part and I don't even go over there.
You don't know that? Who knows? Like, what if because I think
that's awkward if you're a listener and you're
as
like,
Snow-
oh my gosh, they're both here.
as snow and ice move in,
Yeah.
like I may be running on treadmills where you're.
There's several lines, like sections of it.
Yeah.
I like to be on the right side underneath a fan. So if that's my spot.
That's where I like to be.
No, it's not. You haven't even been in there except for one time. So that's not true.
But when I walked in, I was like, this is obviously where the best treadmills
It's
are.
the perfect spot for me. You be on the left side, and then it won't be awkward at all.
I actually feel like it's good for us to talk about this now because
Set it up in case something happens.
Inevitably, if you and I are at the same gym, we're going to be there at the same time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to want to really bother you.
You don't need to.
But I won't.
Thank you.
Okay. But if I come to the gym and you're there and I'm going to get on a treadmill and you're on a treadmill, do you want me? How many treadmills do you want between us?
Between the spacing? I find it awkward when there's like a ton of free ones and then the person always goes and like takes the treadmill right next to you.
So you don't want me right next to you.
I think that's weird.
That's the temptation.
That's the temptation.
That's
but you're
what
fine.
I really want to do is come and set up right next to you.
I don't like when strangers do that. You'll be fine to do that, but I think
that's
you're going to
that
mostly be
would
in the
be your
weightlifting.
preference.
You'll be mostly in the weightlifting area.
If you had a choice,
Mm-hmm.
how many Okay, am I in the same row? Because there's 2 rows.
Two like levels of it.
Yeah, so
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
no. Pretend I'm Eric for a minute.
But if you're like, why did she quit the gym? Like, it did matter. It doesn't
You know what?
matter.
He kept coming over and saying hi,
And I really don't like that.
and I just can't.
I can't stand when people come say hi.
All right. But, okay, here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
All right. See this room here? This is a safe space for you. And if you feel like you need to come in this room and address something that happened over there, I want you to know that you can.
Okay, I will.
Because I feel like we have a good enough relationship that if we start having a gym problem,
we don't want it to come into the studio.
well, you know what? I feel like we can talk it through. We can work through it. Okay? So I
think it's okay because the one great thing about Obi and I is if we're outside of the studio and we're done with the show, we don't need to talk to each other.
We really don't.
We can. It's when you don't know someone well enough that you got to fill the time up with them. But we can just perfectly be at the gym and we don't have to have a conversation or talk. We just say, hey, that's it.
Joe wants to know if we should both be at the same location at the same time.
Oh, like a president, vice president thing?
That's a good idea.
If some emergency happens, like the show, we're gone. It goes.
Well, I'll just tell you right now, if you guys can handle a rerun, it's like Jeopardy. We have enough that
we have enough riot shows. You'll never miss us if something happens.
We could run for like a decade and people would be like, this is really good.
It's really topical, isn't it?
Yeah, he's really on point with this.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
I know for you guys it's Tuesday, but it's my Monday. So
Obi was not here yesterday. He was out sick, but he's back today.
you got to give me a little, space in there to the thing and
Adjust
whatever.
back into the day.
Yeah. So did you guys see over the weekend all that news about Antonio Brown? I just got tired of hearing about it. But in the middle of it, I'll tell you what, Nikki, I saw some true professionalism emerge.
From which side?
Not from Antonio Brown.
Okay, good.
Okay. But from Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Did you see what Tom Brady had to say about it?
I did not.
He said, and
because
I
he's
quote,
now on the Patriots.
Yeah, he's going to play for the Patriots. And Tom Brady says, I'm 1,000,000% in. Now, see, that's a team player.
He's
like, I'm going to set this stuff aside, whatever, and I'm going to do this. Now, Nikki, before we get into this, I have to ask you a question. Are you a team... What?
Am I a team player here?
Are you a team player?
I'm 100% in.
Are you a leader?
I am a leader.
Are you... Did you guys notice that she couldn't get that word out?
We're leaders together for the show.
Did you
I don't want to
notice?
separate us like that.
Did you notice that she choked on the word leader?
I didn't know if it was a trap. It's
Okay.
like, you're wrong. We're not leaders. We're together. It's a team.
Because the Patriots star, Tom Brady, has said, you know what, Antonio Brown can come live with me at my house. He says he's got 5 bedrooms. Come on over, Antonio.
Is he really saying this, or?
I mean, that's what he said.
Okay.
They could stay with me. So here's my question to you, Nikki. Can I come and live with you?
But you're already here. We're already on the
Are
team.
are you ready to be a
one-
leader?
Yes, come
like
on.
Tom Brady?
If that's what the show needs, then that's fine.
Can I come and live at your house in your 5-bedroom mansion?
I don't think with the puppies I have, that's good for your allergies, but
Well, you know what? You're going to put dogs before us? Dogs before the team?
it's like,
There's no dog in team.
darn it, no, there's not.
So just something for you to think about.
Oh, man. I really wonder how this is going to play out. Not the riot part, but the Antonio
Because
Brown
Nikki
part.
and I will do fine.
Yeah.
I'll stay a couple of treadmills down, and we'll still drive separate cars.
We're going to still be fine.
It's fine.
I don't see that being a problem, but I kind of, you don't wish ill will on the Patriots, but you just kind of want things to maybe go not as smoothly. For him.
A lot of times when money gets involved, it ruins relationships.
That is apparent.
So, you know how it is. You know what? It's the NFL. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Like within a year, everybody will be like, I don't know. It's fine. They won't care. They won't, because that's the NFL. The NFL's always got something crazy going.
Did you see his YouTube video on like him just shouting, I'm free, as he got picked up then later by the Patriots?
I didn't, actually.
It's interesting because, he wanted to get off the Raiders, and they're saying he devised this plan and had people helping.
Right. And they were saying that, like, he worked with his social media team to try to figure out a way.
And then he posted this YouTube video, and it made it seem like, what did they do to you to act like this? But then on the other side, it's like, well, are you acting like this to make people feel sympathetic with you, that you weren't doing this for other reasons? Because he kind of comes off, I didn't like him. Let's just say that. I don't like his tactics. That's it. That's a better way to say that.
Right,
I'm sure he's just individually as a person, great. We love and support everybody. But I don't like his tactics.
Business acumen.
Seems a bit gameplay-y for me. So the YouTube video was kind of like, and there you go.
Nikki, it is a game.
It is. Well, he's playing off the field.
He's playing the meta game.
He was playing off the field more than on the field for the game of football.
Well, you know how it is. The good news is, like, at least he plays the game well enough that he's got a lot of money. And Tom Brady hasn't invited me over to stay.
You never got that invitation.
And I'll just say this as a side note. Some of the memes, so good.
Riot's worst of 2019.
So it's September 11th. So this would be the 18th anniversary of what happened September 11th, 2001. So there's that. I also have been looking at, there was I was not overly familiar with the guy, but apparently a lot of the people I know knew him. And that was that there was a kind of a high profile guy who had committed suicide yesterday.
Oh, yeah. He was a pastor? Or?
I don't know if he's a pastor or a worship leader. I haven't really dug into it yet. I've just seen it all in every feed that I have going on. And, he actually spent a lot of time reaching out to people who were struggling with depression and all these different things. And then yesterday he died. So I've been thinking about it because, like, who wants to talk about dying, right? Nobody does. But it's that funny thing where it's like, yeah, but we're all going to. And I think that's probably part of why we don't like to talk about it. We don't want to think about the people we love, not being around. We don't want to think about ourselves not being around. So this is what I've been thinking about. Isn't it kind of awesome that God is willing to talk about that? Think about that for just a minute. A lot of times when we're praying, we're like, God, I want a pony, and I need a new car, and I need rent for this month. So in that order, I would like to receive these things.
The pony can't be the car also. I need both.
I need both. One's for fun and one's for business, okay? But God is willing to, he's not just concerned about life, but, the end of life and what happens after the end of life. And I mean, if you think about it, guys, that's kind of awesome, because it would be really easy for me to talk to you about just happy, like whatever kind of stuff. But God's willing to talk about the things we don't want to talk about. So what is it in your life that you need help with that you don't want to talk about? The stuff that you'd rather bury, the stuff you'd rather not think about. Because I want you to know something. God is willing to have the hard conversations with you. He's willing to listen to the tough things that you have to say. He's willing to walk with you through grief. When everybody else is done and they're like, okay, you're still on that, but you're still grieving, God is willing to continue to walk with you through that. So look, if you feel like there are these things you don't want to talk about, that everybody else is over, like whatever it is, I want you to know that you can talk to God about it. Whether it was something that happened 18 years ago, 18 months ago, or last night, and just talk to him. If you don't have a relationship with God, just start it right now. Say, Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I'm still on this, and I need to talk about it, and I need your help. And that's where you can start. Again, it's not going to be always a matter of just snapping your fingers, but the thing is, God's got time, and he's got time for you.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You know, it's going to get cold, and you're going to want to be warm.
Uh-huh.
And
RadioU now has scarves.
Da, da, da! Do you want to see what it looks like? It's on our Instagram.
You can look. It's not for sale yet, but probably by next week, that'll be up through shop.radiou.com.
It's going to be there.
Uh-huh. There's not too many of them, so if you're interested, we'll keep you updated.
Mm-hmm. So it just, you know what's funny is like it just feels like Christmas in here. I don't know.
With the appearance of that.
Yeah. Been trying to get Nikki to play a Christmas song today.
No,
and
not
she
today.
Says, you know what, Nikki, I feel like it's that same voice that says to me that, like, not every day can be special. And I feel like it's this crushing adult thing that happened to you. Because every once in a while I'll be like, we should play a Christmas song. She's like, so what happens next? We play a Christmas song every day just to feel alive?
Is that what I said? Just
Basically.
to feel something?
Yeah, I just want to feel anything. Okay. But what I feel like happens is when we get into that territory, I feel like there's something that you used to do to make every day special. And now she's like, I'm not allowed to do it anymore.
So therefore, none of us can have it.
No days are special.
No one gets to. No, I normally I'm up for it if there's a reason for it. Oh, yeah? Is that it?
Negative, Nikki.
Is that my sound? Is that what I sound like? I think that's the most hurtful thing. Even worse than you said my feet were wide. It's the worst. Just compare me to that. Oh my God.
That? Nikki's at home like.
Me every time I put shoes on.
Shut up.
I do. I hear your voice in my head. Look at your wide feet.
Don't you know that I'm just looking for things to bother you?
You are.
I don't think
and
you
it
have.
Does work.
I don't think you have wide feet.
No,
I just
I
told
kinda
you.
do.
I just. Oh my God.
I kind of do. That's the worst part of it. Oh my gosh.
You've got to be kidding, right?
I'm
When did I even say that?
I don't know. Just sometimes.
For all you did you dream that?
No, you totally said that. And you said that on air, and you laughed about it and just said a tugboat noise. Now I have a noise that I can hear in my head.
No.
Every time.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, Nikki, how's your day? That's just what I hear now every moment of the day. Oh, my goodness.
You guys want to do something fun?
There I come. I'm pulling into pork.
Oh, my gosh. Kyle from Arkansas says, no joke. I was listening to the podcast from February when Obi said they don't make Crocs big enough for Nikki's feet.
See?
Oh my gosh. Just because I know it bothers you, but I mean, it's supposed to bother you, but it's not supposed to bother you after the show. It's only supposed to bother you during the show.
That's not how
and then
it works.
You're supposed to hit that door and leave all those cares behind.
I can't.
You're not supposed to think about it again until the
I
next
can't do
time
that.
we're in here making fun of you.
I can't do that. I can't just put it away. I can't.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I'll tell you what's going to happen is one day I'm going to walk in here and Nikki's just going to shoot me.
I'm just going to lose it.
She's going to be like, hey, who's got wide feet now?
I'm going to shoot you in the foot. I'm not going to shoot you anywhere else.
I'm going to use these wide feet to stomp on your grave.
Oh, but it just was just sometimes you.
How did we even get on that?
Ow. Everything hurts.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll be quiet now.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on RadioU.
There's been a lot of games to play. It's just which one are you going with?
So yesterday afternoon, I spent some quality time with Colonel Sanders. I was role-playing as Nikki, trying to get Colonel Sanders to fall in love with me as I was going to a special culinary school.
Now, if you're just tuning in, you're like, that's weird. It's a free game from KFC, so
Listen,
we didn't do it.
If you think it's weird,
You should try playing it.
you should have been me doing that yesterday afternoon. It was weird.
But you played it, and I think everybody had fun watching it.
I played all the way through, and I don't think I got the best ending. Because I get the feeling that
there's different ones.
There are different endings, and I feel like a couple of the choices I made, the Colonel did not want to go into business with me at the
end. And there was no relationship?
Oh, no. He was in love with
dating?
me. For sure.
We're still
For
dating.
sure. Well, I mean, he was in love with you, Nikki. And I tried to play as you. I tried to think the way you would think if you were trying to get Colonel Sanders to fall in love with you.
Oh, so there's just no business thing.
Yeah, it just didn't work out, which shows you that... I wouldn't win because, trust me, if you're going to fall in love with Nikki, you're going to business with her. I'm not saying she's a lovely person, but you should get her to run your business.
I'll just take care of that part.
Trust
we'll have
me,
success.
She knows what she's doing.
So
okay?
It was fun, though.
It was fun. It was free. It's only available on Steam, which you can get on your PC or your Mac. And it took me... I started fast forwarding through chunks of it, which you can do, especially towards the end because it's 3 days long. And by the third day, I'm like, oh my gosh.
So basically, the dating simulator games are more common, like, say, on your phone where, hey, you and Bobby are going out to eat. What do you want to do? And it's like, here's one, and then there's two, and you click, and then it goes to the next one. And it's story-based.
It's a lot of that.
It is. It can be boring.
It took me about an hour and 20 minutes to get through it. And a lot of people watched it with me. We were very entertained. Make no mistake. Make no mistake.
So if you want to see the KFC game that Obi did for Obadiah Plays yesterday, that's up at RadioU Riot and RadioU on Facebook and RadioU Riot on our YouTube channel. Derek just texted. He downloaded Gears 5 on Friday, and he said that's a great game.
Lightweight.
You're not playing KFC, are you? You're not doing it right.
If you're not KFCing, then what are you even doing?
And then this morning, Mario Kart is now available to download. So there's another game now.
That's the other thing that we were saying is like the most highly anticipated of mobile games.
And so it's the mobile version of Mario Kart.
Aaron wants to know, was the only date location KFC's? No, this is before he opened the KFC's.
It's a young
Colonel Sanders, and he's alluding to the fact that he's interested in, potentially opening.
So it's when you're at culinary school.
Yeah. And he's, I can't remember if he's a teacher. He's not a teacher. Like he's an older student or something. Yeah, something like that. And slowly over the course of the game, you make chicken and mashed potatoes.
Ooh,
coleslaw.
Biscuits. Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
Like a few different things. So it's all in there.
So RadioU Riot, again, if you want to watch the Obadiah Plays from yesterday. And then we're just going to play Mario Kart sometime this morning just to see what it looks like and how it is.
At least on my phone, Mario Kart's not released yet.
It's not up? Oh, you can play on my phone.
It's fine.
It's there. It's downloaded. It's ready.
My Apple TV gets the update after everyone else.
Your phone gets the game.
My Android always gets the games like second. Even if they're released on the same day, they're just like, we're pushing iOS first.
Yeah, because for the Dr. Mario game, didn't you get it like that afternoon?
Yep.
So you have a while.
But it's fine. You know what? I don't have a complex or anything.
So many games.
No big deal.
Well, see, now you're not so pressured. You don't have that extra game.
You're right. I feel more relaxed now.
You're listening to the Riot's Worst of 2019.
So a woman in Australia was just deported. Sent her right on back. She came from Vietnam to Sydney, and right there at the airport, they were like, nope, we're yanking your visa. You're not coming in. Because she was trying to bring in pork.
Pork?
She was bringing in pork from Vietnam, which I don't really understand that.
Well, was it like pre-pork as in like not killed yet, or was it a pig?
It was not a pig, and it was not...
It's not like a sandwich, or...
No, it wasn't cooked.
She was just bringing meat?
Just brought meat with her.
You'd be surprised at people. Have you ever seen some of those custom or like airport shows? Like, you won't believe what they brought in.
That actually sounds like something that you would love.
I know, right? I love seeing stuff what's
Nikki
this?
likes to watch Hoarders.
What we found at
airports.
Makes me feel better about what I pack when I go on vacation, because I'm not bringing pork.
Oh, my gosh. I'm not either.
I don't have like 100 parakeets in my sleeve and I'm bringing them in.
She brought pork and at least a dozen eggs, like pickled eggs or something. I don't know. But, okay, I'm just being real. Like, I don't understand that. If you're in a position where you're like, I really want to make sure that I have good pork, like, bring the spices, but... I mean, they got pigs in Australia. You can get pork.
Maybe it's some secret family recipe, or it's a pork that's blessed in a certain way, or something like that. I don't know.
Something. Well, I'll tell you this. Like, apparently, and this I don't keep up with, but there was a terrible African swine flu that spread, and Australia has been fighting hard to make sure that it doesn't spread to Australia, and so. Basically, one of the worst things that you can bring to Australia is pork of any kind.
And then Erin texted, she said probably because pork can also carry parasites as well.
Oh,
like if you've ever gone into a different country, I mean, they don't want you to bring a lot of stuff in.
No, they really don't.
Are you allowed to take a lot of stuff out? You know, if you're like, oh, I brought this fruit tree. I can't wait to bring it home. And then they're like, no, you may not.
The only thing I can think of that... And I'm just trying to connect what this lady's doing to my personal experience here, right? Is that I have had relatives in Oregon ship me Oregon blackberries.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you, they are
divine.
So much better
than
what I find locally. But yeah, it's in the contiguous 48.
This would be like when I take In-N-Out on the plane. You know, it's food. You're just taking food on the plane.
Yeah, but this is uncooked pork.
Yes, that's why it's wrong. That's why you weren't allowed to bring it in.
I know, but I want to get this lady on the show.
No,
I just want to know.
You're not going to understand. It's a different thing. We just don't understand.
Because, maybe it is that. Maybe it's just like, listen, them Australian pigs, they ain't no good. We've got the real stuff in Vietnam.
And we're bringing it with us. What was the pickled stuff?
Oh, no, it was like pickled eggs. A bunch of those.
Well, is this on carry-on or is it in luggage underneath?
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, that makes a difference, too.
Yeah. So, just a heads up, if anybody's planning on going to Australia, if you could not take any raw meat with you, they'd really appreciate it.
Well, I think you would have known that already, but you just can't be sure.
Nikki,
you want to always check.
What do we always say? If you see a sign, that sign is there for a reason.
That means enough people have done it.
Somebody did that.
To be able to warrant having this whole discussion.
Why do you guys have a sign? No, we need the sign, okay? We have to have the sign. It's about to have to become a law.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.